Friends, are you looking for love? I can help. As promised today, the world's best and easiest fail-proof crust for pies. What I have here, first of all, are 2 cups of all-purpose flour and a teaspoon of salt. I have 3/4 cup of Crisco that I'm just going to scoop into my flour mixture. My hands are clean, and I'm just going to get in there with my hands and sort of mix it around gently, okay? And so the flour will coat the Crisco, and then eventually it'll be like little peas. So I'm just going to keep working. Okay guys, I gently worked in the Crisco and flour and salt. My consistency is kind of the size of little crumbly, I don't know, some of them are pea size. It's not an exact thing. Okay, the next and last ingredient for pie crust is a 1/4 cup of ice water. It's got to be ice water. I have a 1/2 cup of ice water here, so I'm just going to pour about half of it in, and then I'm going to gently mix this with my fingers too. Okay, we'll get this mixed up, and in a second we'll have a ball of dough. So guys, I'm just gently working, kind of tossing it over, and by doing that, it's mixing everything, and see how it's forming a ball? So this is what we want. Now you can see it's about ready to be a ball of dough. So this is it. I've got 2 balls of dough ready to go. I'm old school, so I just take flour, and I'm messy too. I just like to flour up my countertop, and then I take my rolling pin and I get it good and floured too. Take your first ball, get it kind of packed together, and mush it down a little bit, and then gently start to roll it out. I sort of move my dough around so that it will kind of stay even, and this is just practice, you guys. You know, the first one's probably not going to roll out exactly right, or it might be thick in one spot. You can ball this all back up and go again. Now, I say that, but if you get too much flour in it, your dough's going to get kooky, and so you only have maybe 1 or 2 goes of that. You can also add in fresh dough that hasn't been floured to compensate for that. Okay, so look guys, see how it's rolled out now? And it's not perfect. It doesn't need to be. Look how easy this is. I'm going to gently pull it up and fold it over in half, and then gently pull it up, lift it, and lay it into my pie pan, and pull the rest out. Okay? Look. So it's not so pretty. It's not a problem. We're going to kind of cut off and paste, cutting and pasting dough, and then we just kind of pinch off the tops, you know, with your thumb to kind of make that little pie edging. I don't know how to do any kind of pie edging other than this, but this pie is so good it doesn't matter. This is all you need. This recipe is actually going to be credited to my mother-in-law, Judy Gears, and I've had a lot of different pies, but there's nothing that's better than this. It's really simple. That's why we're home-style gourmet. So here is how you finish up the pie. In here, I have 3/4 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. I have already peeled and sliced 5 to 6 Granny Smith apples that I will dump in. Again, clean hands. And then just get in there with your hands, toss it around, get it all mixed up. If you work with it long enough, it'll almost become like a syrup in there, because the sugar melts all into the stuff, into the apple juice, but it's not necessary. It's mixed enough. Dump it in there. Look, it's all full. It's going to be so yummy. Next up is the crumb topping. Hang on. Last step to the pie, guys, is the crumb topping, and this makes it so yummy. Other people put a latticework crust or different things on the top, but we dig the crumb topping. I've got it ready in here. Okay, this is 3/4 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of sugar, and 5 1/3 tablespoon room temperature margarine. Again, I'm gonna mix it with my fingers, do it gently. That's the other thing I didn't tell you about the dough. Make sure you go gently, guys, when you're mixing this stuff. If you overwork it, I think it can make it less tender. This is gonna be one of those crusts that's so flaky, and it's just really special. It's simple, but it's just really, really good. So now, kind of the same consistency as our crust was, the sort of pea-shaped stuff we've got in here. And then when it's ready, we're just going to lay it on. I said I was messy, so, you know, you're going to have to clean it up, but get it all on top of there. Just use your hand as a smoother. Lay it all on there. Ooh, baby. It's going in the oven. The finished result, the pie is ready. Now I need to give you guys 2 disclaimers on this pie. Number 1, you could receive proposals when people eat this pie. I cannot be held responsible. Number 2, if you bring this pie or the crust or any part of this recipe to any type of event, you will forevermore be deemed as the pie maker. So you need to be ready for that responsibility, because with great knowledge comes great responsibility. Enjoy the pie, you guys.